Hey guys, back here with another video with my Earth Aggro or Earth Return deck. Last time I played this deck, it was a bit of a biased video since I played against Reasoning Gate, which is basically the exact deck that I built this one to just destroy, right? Like Cold Wave basically obliterates Reasoning Gate, right? And then you just put down a lot of big Earth monsters and beat them down pretty quickly. So that's generally going to be an easy matchup against Reasoning Gate. So I thought it'd be good to have some gameplay against other decks so you can kind of get an idea how this deck plays against other meta-relevant decks. So yeah, I have a number of replays here today. I have quite a few, but a lot of them go by pretty fast just because this is an aggro deck, so the game does move by pretty quickly. Um, Throughout the replays, the side deck kind of changes. I'm still trying to get that down, and still trying to figure out my different siding strategies against different decks. But main deck looks pretty similar to last time. I think the only thing I changed was I maybe removed Brain Control, and then also I added a Chiron to the main. This is pretty nice to get rid of dead cards or dead spells in your hand like Cold Wave and dead Gaia Powers. Also gets rid of dead Noblemen if you're playing against another aggro deck, as well as dead reinforcements if you already search all your targets. And then it's just a nice, flexible card that can pop spells and traps. Works pretty well with Cold Wave since they can't chain them. And yeah, in the sideboard, it's let me think. Pretty similar. Maybe I made a couple changes. I added another Kinetic Soldier because this card is so good against warriors, especially because you're running Cold Wave. So it just guarantees that your Kinetic Soldier lands. And then this also gets boosted by Gaia Power, so it goes up to 1850. So other non-warrior monsters that they might be main decking, like Kaiku, can't even get over this, right? And then I also put in two Kaikus. I felt like I was having a little bit of trouble against the Chaos matchups. I thought this deck should have a good inherent matchup against them. Um, I was already siding in an extra mind control, so that was like two mind controls, two noblemen. But I found that once they start to get ahead, it's really hard to keep up with them. And Kaiku is good because it can keep them at bay by banishing cards. And then I felt most of the games I was losing to Chaos and Chaos Turbo was when they would drop a Chaos monster. I would do a really good job of, controlling the game with Mind Control, Nobleman, and Mystic Swordsman level 2, but then they would just drop BLS on me and then it'd be like game over. Um, so yeah, like I said, I'm still figuring out what my siding strategy is, but um, against warriors, I actually side out these returns and put in the triple decree and keep in like 2 to 3 cold wave, and I do that because it kind of guarantees that Kinetic Soldier is going to land or connect, and then you also just have other cards that you just want attacks to go through with, right? Obviously, your big monsters, you want them to connect, but then you even have things like Giant Rat, which you can crash and then go into Kinetic Soldier, and it's really nice to just shut off your opponent's back row for that turn and gain some momentum, right? So I actually leave in some of the cold waves against those trap heavy decks. Also against decks that bring in a lot of battle traps, leave them in. Okay, so with that, gonna jump into the replays. This first one is against like some Chaos Recruiter deck, I believe. But this is an example of when the deck does exactly what it's supposed to do and just controls the game. So yeah, he's on Shining Angel, so it's some sort of Chaos Recruiter deck, I think. Um, this guy must be new to the game because he doesn't realize that knock is only for flip effects. But hit him with a cold wave. He can't do anything right here. Yep. Get in there for some big damage. And this is super early on in the game. Hit him with another cold wave and just go in. And I didn't even need that Exiled Force because I could do piercing damage with the Battle Ox and the Gorilla. So that was a pretty quick game. Here, a little bit of deja vu action. I got a knock on the Shining Angel again. Hit him with a cold wave because I don't want him to do anything next turn either. And then I crash my Giant Rat, and I think I go for a Lily. And keep in mind, he can't do anything next turn in terms of spells and traps, and he doesn't have a setup for Chaos. So Now the Lily is still on the board. That's why I like to do that play, because I want the Lily to be on the board next turn. They can't get rid of it with spells and traps. And then next turn I can try to go for game, or at least do a lot of damage. So this guy's a little bit of a new player, I can tell just by how he's playing. But, yep. Okay, I take the breaker and pop the back row. Okay, quick 2-0. So that was just an example of when the deck does exactly what it's supposed to do. Moving on to the second one, this is against Chaos Turbo. This is an example of when the deck starts to fall behind and it's really hard to keep up. Sorry about that. But yeah, this was a tough one. And at this point, I wasn't siding in Kaiku's, and this was the game or the match where I was like, okay, Kaiku is actually pretty necessary. Because there were a number of times I feel like where I could have kept up my tempo if I had a Kaiku. Okay, so he solemns the mind control. That was a big solemn. But right now, you can see right now I'm in a pretty decent position, right? Like he's got 23, I'm up 4,000 life points. He doesn't have too much going on right now, and I can just keep laying down the beat. But this is where things start to go a little bit south. He gets some spies on the field. Okay, I got a nice tribe infecting right here, which is pretty sweet. But he starts to get a little bit... Well, actually, no. Even right now, I'm in a pretty good spot. Like, at this point in time, the most he can do is, like, summon Kaiku, run over my tribe, I guess. And then I would still be in a pretty good position because I could just summon these cards next turn. But then he upstarts into... I don't know why he shuffled right there. Maybe that was a misclick, but it was a very fortunate misclick because he upstarts into Graceful, and then Graceful gets him into 2 Chaos Monsters, and he has a loaded Grave. So, like, upstart into Graceful into 2 Chaos Monsters, and then the tempo is just in his favor at this point, and I pretty much lose from here. Yeah. Damn. Yep. Another Chaos Monster. So he's banishing all my stuff, which would normally be good if I had return, but I do not have return, unfortunately. If I had a return right there, that would have been insane. But, yep. So he takes that one. Okay, so in this one, he sides in a ton of battle traps. I should have, I feel like, kept in more cold waves. I put in the decrees, but I feel like the cold waves would have done work right here. Like if I had one right here, then those traps would be shut off, and I would have 2 monsters on the field, and I would have done quite a bit of damage. That would have been like 27 damage. But yeah, so this is when I'm still learning how to side against different decks. Here I misplay. I thought that Injection Fairy Lily got the buff from Enraged Battle Log, so I paid 2,000 for nothing. Literally for nothing. I paid 2,000 life points. I just burned myself for 2,000 life points essentially. I feel like I could have won this game if I hadn't made that misplay. I would still have 2,000 life points right now, and I would be able to run over that Kaiku with the Lily, but unfortunately I don't. So take a Faith, which is pretty nice. Get back Mind Control, so I can control the game. And try to get in there. Luckily I have the Decree to stop the Mirror Force. Again, right now I should be up 2,000 life points if had I not done the Lily play. But I do seal out that game, so it didn't make a difference anyway. Okay, game 3. This is the one where I think he just really gets ahead, and I just cannot keep up. This is one where I wish I had kept in some cold waves, because look at that 3 back row. If I had cold wave right now, then this monster would be gone. He wouldn't be able to get advantage off of the Magician Faith. I would still have a monster. But things go pretty south right here once he starts going plus off the Faith. And then if I had cold wave that turn, then he wouldn't have even been able to set these 2 new back row. So yeah, against decks like this, I in the future plan to keep in at least maybe anywhere from 1 to 3 cold waves, honestly. And I also learned like I should probably take against decks like this where every card matters and you need to maintain your tempo as much as possible. Cards like Gaia Power are not really super helpful here because they don't do anything by themselves. So against Chaos Turbo decks, I feel like I should side out both Gaia Powers. They're also setting a lot of monsters in defense, so having that extra 500 boost isn't super critical. The Gaia Power is a little bit better against other aggro decks like Warriors, where the 500 boost just makes all your monsters bigger than their monsters. So yeah, that was a learning experience for me. I should side out the Gaia Powers because they're basically just dead draws against this deck. And now he's just really controlling the game. He's up like 8 cards on me, and it's downhill from here. Do I surrender? I don't surrender. I hate surrendering. Top deck, a Pot of Greed. Okay, exactly. So I just drew a Gaia Power, and this is a dead card. If I had drawn a Cold Wave instead, then I would probably still lose this match, to be honest, but at least for this turn, I would be able to do something. So yep, that was that match. Moving on to the third match, I think this is against another Chaos Turbo deck or Chaos deck. Yeah, let's see what we got here. Oh, this is kind of cool. This guy actually recognizes my name from my YouTube channel, so that was pretty cool to meet someone who subs to me. Hit the Gravekeeper Spy with a knock early on. That's love to see that. Activate Cold Wave, but he has double chainable traps, which sucks. He clears my whole field, but now he has an open field, and now he can't use any spells next turn. Hit him with a duo. I'm in a really good spot right now. I'm in a really good spot. Hit him with a duo. Hit a Chaos Orc. Resolve a Mystic Swordsman level 2, which feels pretty good. But unfortunately, I discarded I discarded the Chaos Orc, but I guess he could have if I didn't. And then he has a Perfect Light in the Dark in the grave for BLS, which sucks. It feels really bad because I was really heavily controlling the game up until this point. But then I get really saggy with it, and I top deck is smashing. So that was a super saggy top deck from me. Here he misplays or misreads, and like he doesn't realize that they're both 1400 attacks, so they crash into each other. And then here I just close out the game with a pre-mat. All right, game 3. Okay, duo hits the tribe. Not bad. I'm fine with that. I'd rather keep the graceful. Pop the face down. Don't want to risk it. I hold the graceful because I don't really nothing good to just. I want to keep the smashing ground in case I need it, and no need to get rid of it right now. He doesn't have duo, so there's no risk of it dying. I was already going to normal summon, so it wouldn't change the monster that I was going to normal summon probably. And then I draw a dead Gaia Power right here, so that's good that I waited with the graceful because I'll have one more card that is good fodder for graceful. But again, I should really have sided out this Gaia Power. Okay, those are some good top decks. Summon the Berserk Gorilla. Take his Dekoichi. Does he have a Mirror Force? No Mirror Force. He does have the Sakuretsu, but I stop with his Decree, which feels pretty good. I'm feeling like I'm in a pretty good position right here. But then he has the Moth for the Pot of Greed, and then draws it. Yeah, okay, this is tough. Hit the, wow, okay. Wow, that sucks. Okay, so you guys are seeing everything that I've been describing. Like, yeah, I just drew into a dead Gaia Power again. This is like probably the third time in this match that I've drawn a dead Gaia Power, which is super unfortunate. And then from here, he basically just closed out the game. He's 6 cards up on me. Can't do anything. Dead Gaia Power. I have to do that to live. And then, yeah, lose that one. Moving on to game 3. Okay, I'm going first. This is a really good hand. Again, dead Gaia Power. I should really side that out. Hit him with a duo. Feeling pretty good. Cold Wave right off the bat, so I can resolve this Mystic Swordsman level 2, which I do. Really wish this Gaia Power was another Cold Wave. I turn this to defense in case he has a Mirror Force, which he does not. Maybe I should have just gone a little bit more aggro. He duos me. Not the worst. I opt to keep the Mind Control and the Nobleman because I want to maintain tempo here. And then, unfortunately, I Mind Controlled the Sangan. Ooh, and he gets a big Mobius. Ah, man, he gets a huge Mobius. I'm gonna crash into that so I can try to get Lily out. But then he has the Book of Moon, which sucks. I'm still in the game so far. Oh, this is a huge wow. Okay, this is a huge mind control. Um, that's a nice mind control. Pop his Mobius, get in there with Battle Locks, but he sent us the Serpents. Now I'm like, I was in just a pretty good position, but then he top decks Chaos Sorcerer, man. Like, unlucky. Okay, here I kind of misplayed. I, well, not necessarily. He's just getting good top decks. I was like, I can attack this and then force him to banish this next turn to buy me one more turn. I'm not really sure what that would have done. Or alternatively, I probably should have just attacked into the Chaos Sorcerer and banished both of them, knowing that he has Serpent in hand and he's going to be just on top decking, and this only has 200 attack. So, yeah, that was a misplay. I should have attacked this. But this game was kind of late at night. And then he top decks Snatch Steal, and that's going to be game from there. Let's see, what did I top here? Yeah, I should have done that, man. I should have attacked into the Chaos Sorcerer, banished my DD Assailant. Then he has just Snatch Steal and this in hand. He has nothing to Snatch Steal. He attacks me directly with this, returns to defense, and then I could have attacked that. And then he could have Snatch Stealed, but man. But then, like, look, okay, this is like the fourth Gaia Power. This is the fourth dead Gaia Power top deck. Um, yeah, so yeah, I've said enough, but this was a learning experience for me for sure in terms of how to side. Okay, and then the last two matches are against Warriors. Sorry about that. The last two matches are against Warriors, which I think is interesting because they're both aggro decks, right? I get cheeky and set this Mystic Swordsman level 2, hoping that he wouldn't do anything. Um, but yeah, okay, Dust Tornado is a Gaia Power for no apparent, just to save 500 life, I guess. I banish one in case he has like an 1800 monster, so he can't run it over with that, but then he has a 2000 Blade Knight. So yeah. Oh, that connects. That's nice. He's double Solemn. He could have Solemn that if he chose not to, I guess. Gigantes, he does choose to Solemn that. I have two Dead Noblemen in my hand. This is not looking good for me right now, by any means. Yeah, and that's going to close out game one. All right, game two. Game two, I'm going first. Okay, just gonna grab the Exiled since I really only have Exiled and DD Assailant in the deck as targets anyway, so... And I already had, what, two Noblemen, I believe? Sorry, two Rhodas. And now I'm just gonna go beat down... Okay, I got super unlucky here. I use Chiron to discard the dead Rhoda, but then I hit the Dust Tornado instead of Mirror Force, and I lose two monsters off of that, so that's just unfortunate. So I lost two cards off of that. Well, really three because I pitched one. I lose tempo, and then it opens up my field for Don Zalug for another -1, so it's like -3 just from hitting the wrong card. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I pop that just to get off the field. He doesn't duo me. Okay, that's fine. I Heavy Storm just to guarantee that this Gorilla goes through. And now I'm actually in a pretty good position. Somehow I turned that around. And now he's... Okay, so right here, he sets Kaiku. I mean, it doesn't really make that big of a difference, to be honest. Like, if he attacks his soldier, I'm just going to kill it next turn. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it didn't really make that big of a difference. I'm playing defensively here in case he has Mirror Force. He attacks into my face-down kinetic soldier, and then that's game from there. Okay, now game three. Yeah, you can see I have all these kinetic soldiers in here. This is a game where I'm like, 3 kinetic soldiers actually fire, so I put in a third one in the side. Why did he do that? Interesting. Okay, so he... okay, I guess it makes sense. He Sakuretsu's the giant rat because he doesn't want me to resolve its effect, I guess. It wouldn't have even done anything against the spy, but okay. And now he's kind of going in hard. Okay, so he has the swordsman for my kinetic soldier. It's unfortunate. This is crazy. What does he have set? So So this is interesting. Like he could have solemn this soldier. I would have been like kind of tempted to do that possibly. I don't know, but I did have the other soldier in my hand in case he did solemn that. So we're chilling right now. And I set the elder soldier as a bluff since he doesn't have swordsman level 2 anymore. I figured, let's see here. Okay, so he does banish that. Okay, solemn's my greed. One sec, guys. Sorry, I have to cough. Sorry about that, guys. Had a cough. But what happened? What exactly happened? Oh, I just went in there. I decided to go aggro. I guess I assumed that if he had a mirror force, he would have used it last turn. So I summoned the battle ox and get in there for some piercing damage, and that was the match. And then lastly, I have another game against warriors, I believe. I don't remember if I won or lost this one. I think I probably lost this one actually, or maybe I won it. I'm not sure. We'll see. So he opens up duo. Okay, great. Does he hit my duo? Nope, he hits swordsman, which is really good because he's playing warriors. That's like the most dead card in my hand. Puts back gigantes. I've got duo. Um, hit some good stuff. Get in there with assailant. Does he have the back row for it? He doesn't have the back row for it. But this is not a bad position, other than the fact that I have a dead nobleman in my hand. Okay, doing pretty well. I'm like, does he top deck the mirror force? And of course, he top decked the mirror force. But I just keep drawing monsters, which is super nice because I'm keeping him at bay here and just going in. He's just trading 1 for 1 with me, but he's not drawing into any monsters, and I am, so that's good. Trust into another Kaiku. We trade them again. Top deck into pre-map, but he has the Dust Tornado answer for that. I normal summon Chiron. I'm going to try to pop that because it's a battle trap, but he has a Solemn. Hits me with his Lug. But I do have the Gorilla, and then he does concede. It wouldn't have been a game. He has one more turn, but I don't know. Maybe he just got tired of that. Okay, and then game 2 opens up Dust Shoot. I have a lot of monsters, so I don't really care. I'm just going to try to get in there for Fat 22, which I do. He's got Dead Nobleman. I'm going to try to use this Chiron to pop the back row. So I go neg right there, unfortunately. But, okay. Gets in there for 15 using my own guy power against me. Hits me with a knock. Okay, yeah, he's just in a good position here. I don't know. I was like, I can attack into that. I feel like, oh, I guess I should have attacked into that. But he could have summoned it if I summoned it in attack mode, but I thought he had some battle traps. Okay, decide to set that. Get rid of his Kaiku with the DD Assailant. Try to get in there for 2,000. Okay, we trade. Not bad. Hand's looking pretty good. This is really unfortunate for him. So I do have the Snatch Steal, and I didn't have a back row, so I am going to be able to use his Breaker to pop his own back row, which feels really good because Mirror Force, that's literally the ideal situation. And now I'm just going to bring the heat. He's just going to quit right there. Yeah, he's got dead these dead chaos monsters. This is exactly why I don't like running Chaos Sorcerer and Warriors. I feel like Warriors is like a deck where you want to bring the heat as early as possible, and Chaos Sorcerer is like by definition like a mid to late game card, right? So you're literally sacrificing some cards in the early game just so you have a better mid to late game, but that's kind of like counterintuitive to what I think Warriors are supposed to do. So my personal preference anyway. I know that was pretty popular a while ago. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm still working on this deck. Still working on my siding strategies, but wanted to give some gameplay playing against other decks instead of the one that this deck is like basically built to destroy. So thanks for watching.